Opening panel of today is called Italy, a Real Opportunity. So let's welcome the first group of panelists.
So for the panel, Italy, a Land of Opportunities, please welcome Emanuele Amendola, Director of the Italian Cultural Institute, Alessandra Rainaldi, Trade Commissioner, Italian Trade Agency, Raffaella Valentini, Consul General of Italy in Los Angeles, and the moderator, Alessandro Ago, Director of Programming and Special Projects, USC School of Cinematic Arts.
Okay. I'll take this end seat so that I can see you better.
Our photographer,
Oh.
to be able to take a picture of
Oh, sure, yes, okay.
Thank you.
Have a seat right there. We're all set. And perfect. Everybody happy about being here? That's great.
Look at that.
Thank you.
Super happy.
So I'd like to thank you all so much for joining this conversation. It's a, I think, very important moment for everyone that's here representing private industry and production to learn about the resources that are offered, both economic and cultural resources offered by the Italian government and Italian government agencies. So what I thought we would do to start is just to sort of discuss the various institutions, of course, represented here by the Italian Consulate of Los Angeles, the Italian Trade Commission, and the Italian Cultural Institute of Los Angeles. So I will begin with the Consul General of Italy, Raffaella Valentini. And I just thought that, you know, so many of these organizations do fall under the umbrella of what the consulate does and what the embassy does. Can you give us a sense of the way in which the Italian consulate can be of value to bridging together the Italian and American entertainment industries?
Thank you, and first of all, welcome everybody. Buongiorno. Let me start by thanking the organizer of this international forum, and in particular Valentina Martelli. We appreciate very much to be the first panelist of this big event because that means the attention towards what we do, towards our activity. And it was clear during the screening, the forum has the objective the goal to bridge Italy and the United States in this very specific sector. And the bridge is the key word also of our job, our daily job. So as Consulate General of Italy in Los Angeles, we were to create connections between Italy and the United States in several sectors. One of these, of course, the audiovisual sector is important for us because we are here in Los Angeles, no doubt. But everyday job is even bigger because we work on different sectors and we act as a team. So the reason why we are all together with the Italian Cultural Institute, the Italian Trade Agency, and I'm so sorry that the representative of the Italian Tourism Board is not with us because she has COVID, Emanuela. But the idea was exactly to show you that we are a team, we work as a team, the Sistema Italia is here to help, of course, people, to help entrepreneurs, Italian, Americans, and the keyword is bridge. The keyword is connection, networking. So what can I say? What we do is to help people who are interested, Americans who are interested in investing in this sector. We, as the consulate, I'm the consul general. Of course, I give. I'm the umbrella. You mentioned the idea of the umbrella, the hat. I could say I'm a sort of director of what happens. So I represent the political part of it. So I give the idea of what Italy does here in the United States, and we of course we try to connect the right people with the right institutions, Italian institutions, which deal with the specific topics. And and then Emanuele and Alessandra will go into more details of what is our daily activity. But this is very important for me today to be here, and again, thank you, Valentina, to show that we are here to provide information, to provide help. There is a growing interest by the Americans towards Italian audiovisual sector to do things in Italy, to know Italian directors, actors. So we are here to help and to cooperate.
We'll talk about the Trade Commission and the Italian Cultural Institute as sort of two very interesting complementary organizations, one that is forging liaisons to foster co-production with Italian companies and American companies, and then one that's also very pointed towards introducing a lot of Italian culture to American audiences and bringing people together in those spaces. So I'd like to ask Alessandra to give us a little bit of a sense of how the Italian Trade Agency works to assert the excellence of Made in Italy around the world, particularly as it relates to film production and the role that it plays in overseeing the film commissions that, I mean, and there are several of them here today, that really promote the production of film in Italy.
Thank you. Good morning. Buongiorno a tutti. Happy to be here and to see many producers and professionals in the industry from the US and the Italian side, which are our, part of our community that justify our efforts as Italian Trade Agency to work with for support Made in Italy abroad. So first of all, we are a trade agency, and our mission is to promote Made in Italy. And inside Made in Italy, the audiovisual industry is as well one of the main sector, has food, wine, design, and fashion, of course. Here in LA, our office, which is part of a big family of 5 offices in the United States, from New York, Houston, Chicago, and Miami, and so here we are the only one in the West Coast. But it's also the only office dedicated to promote, of course, the audiovisual, since we are in the so close to Hollywood industry. What we do? It's part of our mission, what we do also in other sectors. That means we work as a bridge between the two industries, and we organize opportunity of partnership through many activities like exhibitions, like B2B missions, and so on. Just to give you an example, tomorrow we will organize the Italian delegation at the American Film Market, but we are also the ones that organize, we supported all the other stakeholders in Italy, like the Ministry for Culture, the Italian Association that were part of the organizer of the AVP Summit. I see here in this room many American executive producer that was part of our delegation to Italy at the AVP Summit, which is one of the activities in which the US industry executives meets the Italian industry. So in few words, we work on 2 drivers. The first one is attract US production to Italy, not only because Italy is beauty, is a beauty land, but also because Italy has a very strong industry in the audiovisual, which is also made of professionals, starting from the writers to the post-production. And so, and in these specific last years, is living a new renaissance. First, in the video that Valentina was showing, so Italy is the land of Renaissance, but this Renaissance is also in the audiovisual industry. And Cinecittà is an example of how this studio, which has a big legacy, is still on the field and attract more and more American and international co-production nowadays. So this is one driver. The second driver, of course, is to help our producer and Italian distributors to sell their products here in the US. And so tomorrow, for example, at the American Film Market, the Italian delegation is there to find this kind of connection. And to support all these two, objectives, we have created also recently a new tool, which is, I'm very proud to announce it because it's 1 year of work together, close to also the team of Valentina that I want to thank for her professional skills also in this kind of project, which is Italy Meets Hollywood. So we did a lot of things for promote and to link the two industries, but what we realized that was missing was a tool where an American could find all the information about what Italy represents nowadays. So in terms of information, of events, and for example, information about how navigate the complex system of tax credit. So I really invite you also to visit Italy Meets Hollywood because it's, I suppose it's a very useful tool to help the bridge between the two industries.
So just to expand a little bit on these two key points, one is attracting investment and the other one is bringing Italian products to international markets, specifically here, the American film market. And let's start there. Tell us a little bit about how these connections might happen during the American film market. What is the trade agency's role, and if there are people here who are looking to meet with producers during the film market, what would they do?
Sure. Tomorrow, the American film market will open at 9 o'clock. We have a delegation this year of 12 combining producer, distributors, and film commission. I see many of the representatives here in the room. So what happened? Each of them will have a specific location where they can meet the American market at different levels. And to support also the Italian delegation participation, we also have organized on Wednesday, so November the 1st at 9:30, the event Cappuccino all'Italiana. Why? Because it's a get-together just to introduce who are the Italians attending the American film market, and we have invited, of course, all the international market, specifically the Americans. And in that occasion, we will show, for example, not only the last, the last products that the Italian are leading to the American film market, but also new location that could be attractive for new productions. So not only the traditional one known by the Americans, but there are a lot of places and locations that are really amazing and then can give an example of not related to the culture of Italy, to the landscape. So different subjects that can be of inspiration for many international and American producers.
So you mentioned tax credits, and I think that it would be important to discuss a little bit about the film commissions, because there are obviously many different film commissions representing each state in Italy. Though we think of Cinecittà and Rome as being the hub of a lot of facilities and infrastructure for film, but of course each state has its own industry, and it's not just tourism, it's not just a location to shoot in. So would you mind giving us a sense of how the relationship between a film commission and potential investors works?
So the film commission acts as a one-stop shop. So represent an intermediary organization where the international and the American producer can find all the information related to the location, but more and more all the services that the region can offer to an international production. So the professional, the technicals, the incentives, of course, that are going to add to the national incentive that the Italian government plays every year for the international production. So that's very important. That's why also we are organizing this networking Cappuccino all'Italiana, because in that occasion all the 4 film commissions that are represented, but also the national representative of film commission could give also an idea of what is, they can offer in terms of services and incentives. So I think it's very important because it's a problem of also, help the Americans and international partners to navigate into the system that sometimes is not so easy also for us. And so I think this is the service that a trade commission has also in its mission.
Oh, please.
So I just add what Alessandra was just saying. Yes, this is a very important point. So sometimes we, as Italy, suffer a little bit about the fact that the originality of Italy is that we have so many actors, we are so many people, we are the richness of our country, which is the beauty of our country. So we have regions, we have different actors, and sometimes I listen to some people saying, okay, Italy, but sometimes it's difficult. You have one region, another region. So the very important thing is, and the message we wanna take today is that there are different film commissions, the regions, but if you have the idea that there is a system behind this, and so you can refer first of all to the institutions, the central institutions which are represented here. You can navigate in this world that could seem sometimes difficult because it can happen that in some occasion you find different region, different pavilions. But if you want to show that we act as a country, as a system, we are stronger. So this is one of the messages that we wanna give. So we are here to help also in this. So if you sometimes are in difficulty because you do not understand who is who is acting, but is there any difference between what is happening in the Regione Campania or in another place? We can help also in guiding you. Okay, so this is something that I really care because it's one of our richness and one limit, to be frank.
Emanuele, scusami, I was going to come to you, but something that you just said was very interesting to me because here in the United States, there is tremendous competition between the states for production in the sense that a lot has left California due to tax credits in Georgia and Virginia and Michigan, et cetera. But you're talking about unity. And I am curious how the relationship between these different film commissions works in terms of the kind of competition for production from abroad.
Always me. I don't know if I would be able to reply to such intriguing question. Now, I think that the particularity of Italy is that we have such a variety of landscape. And so I don't think there is competition. I think that there is an integration that comes from the nature that we have. No? Of course, the smart strategy should help then all the film commission that have also are represented at national level by the Italian Film Commission. I don't know if Mrs. Priarone, she's here today, and so it's up to us to then to coordinate and to show according to the topic that an international production is looking for, to navigate and direct to the correct destination. But if you have a look about the filming Italy for Movies, so this is another website, very interesting website, where you have a look how the different location and film commission, about the offer that they have at different levels. And so this is the first example, I suppose, of unity and coordination.
Emanuele, as the director of the Italian Cultural Institute here in Los Angeles, you have an incredibly important job of creating the interest and love of Italian culture amongst the people of Los Angeles and wider, since you actually represent more of the West Coast. This form of cultural diplomacy, I think, is incredibly important for Italy, and particularly of great benefit to the city of Los Angeles. So tell us a little bit about the work that you do to complement, of course, all of the work that's being done at the consulate and the Trade Commission to bring Italian culture to a wider audience.
Thank you, Alex. I just want to say also grazie to Valentina and Cristina for having us today, and grazie to all of you for being here. God, this is a very broad question. I could talk for...
We'll dig in.
I could talk for hours. The thing is, obviously, what we do is a little bit different, but as you said, complementary to what the Consulate General and the Trade Commission do. As you know, all of you probably are familiar with the idea that the seeds of culture take a very long time to grow. So basically, whatever we do, we see maybe the results, in years span. On the other hand, we're also very lucky because obviously Italy, as you've seen also in the trailer, has such a rich and incredible heritage that obviously it almost speaks for itself. Whenever I relate to anyone here in the US or also in other countries where I've worked, there is such an incredible love, admiration and interest for everything that Italy represents, and obviously this is a point of advantage for us when we try to attract an American or an international audience towards our culture. But at the same time, it's also kind of a limit because obviously when I talk to you about Italian culture, and whenever I talk to anybody here in the United States, for example, we talk about music, the answer I get is, oh my God, I love Italian opera. We talk about cinema. Oh yes, I love so much Fellini. And this is great, but what we are trying to do as a system is also trying to change a little bit of that narrative and move away from the idea that Italian art is merely Michelangelo, Raffaello, and Leonardo. Move away from the idea that Italian music is just opera. And say, for example, you tell me I love Italian opera, but a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was last week, we hosted an Italian indie funk group at the Whiskey Go-Go here in Los Angeles, and it was excellently received. And that was, just an example of what we try to do and explain that, okay, yes, there is opera, but there's also something else. And Italy is still relevant in the cultural dialogue. You say you love Italian cinema, you love Fellini, you love Antonioni, but a couple of days ago at the American Film Institute, we showed it together with Cinecittà, the latest movie by Matteo Garrone, which is the Italian selection for the Academy Awards 2024. And it's really not a traditional Italian film. It's very different. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to explain that Italy is a country that has still a role in contemporary culture, that we have something new to say. And obviously, we are not denying our heritage because those are the foundation of who we are. But of course, we want to just say that we are there to offer also something else besides that. And
so we have we don't have much time, so I wanted to piggyback on this to talk just as kind of a concluding topic about the technology and new forms of storytelling, because that's also a theme of ITTV. And I know that today there's a big launch on YouTube for Winx Club, and I want you to talk a little bit about how the Institute, how the consulate, how the trade agency is working in things that are audiovisual but are not necessarily feature film distribution and production.
Should I start? Okay, sure. So actually, this is a way for us also to, change the narrative and reach to a newer audience. So I don't know how many of you here in this room have children, but if you do, you probably heard about Wings Club. It's a format created in Italy by Rainbow, which is one of the leading companies for CGI animations. And they work all over the world. They are represented in over 150 countries. And Wings Club is basically the adventures of this 8 fairies going around fighting enemies and fighting for justice and all the good values that we want to teach our children. So this year, in this perspective of reaching to new audiences and try to change a little bit of the narrative and the audience that we normally relate to, the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs commissioned Rainbow, this Italian company, 8 episodes of their signature series, Wings Club, to basically showcase the beauties of Italy through the adventures of these fairies. And so today is the launch of the English version of this Discover the Magic of Italy. That's the name of the series that will be distributed through the network of Rainbow, Wings Club on YouTube, through the network of embassies, consulates, and Italian cultural institutes. And just to give you an idea, if you never heard of Wings Club, they have a cumulative number of 15 billion views across social networks. If you search for the hashtag and the social handles Wings Club, you will find some 5 billion shares. And so for us, this is a way to basically promote our country to an audience that we never reached to, children. And actually, it's way more than that, because hopefully, children don't sit alone in front of a screen or in front of an iPad. So whenever we talk to a kid, we're actually talking to an entire family. And we're actually showing to, an extended group of people that, hey, Italy, is attractive for a new generation, and we have, some areas for you to discover, maybe together as a family. Actually, we do have a little bit of a video. There is a trailer of this new series that is being launched today. I don't know if it's ready. Maybe we can show it. It's very short.
I am the remnant of an ancient magic. I am the spirit of the unique and wonderful places you can visit all over Italy.
Where past and future meet. We have to go. Go where? Let's see. The voice. It's saying there's a treasure like no other. A treasure? What are we waiting for? Can you believe this is one of the oldest cities in the world?
This calls for a good picture. Did you know that many films have been shot here in Matera?
But, Tecna, we've got to find the gem.
That's right. Just enter the coordinates, calculate the route, and...
That bright blue really makes you want to dive in. It's a natural paradise with plenty of history, too. Okay, the frescoes are super, but where are the diamonds?
We are on a mission.
That's right.
We want to preserve it in harmony now and forever.
Come on, let's get to work.
So if you have children, go today on the YouTube channel of Wings Club. You can watch it together. It's going to be fun.
Just as a quick note to bring us to a conclusion, I did want to also mention that the agency that's not here today, unfortunately, due to Emanuela being sick, is ENIT, which is it's an organization that is bringing a lot of sort of information and marketing towards tourism in Italy. In particular, she wanted me to talk about set jetting, which I'll just say is it's inspirational versus business-oriented, selecting Italy as a tourist destination. It's the foreign promotion of the image of Italian tourism and the various types of tourism offered by Italy, as well as the integrated promotion of the tourist resources of the regions. And the set jetting is, of course, a play on words there from jet setting, particularly thinking of something like the way that the second season of The White Lotus, which took place in Taormina, could potentially attract an increase in tourism in the region, and it is a great resource for helping to promote tourism in various locations that are particularly well visible in the global sphere. Thanks to did I get that wrong?
No. Just to add, just to let you understand the importance that also Italy attaches to this place. And it has just 2 offices in the United States. One is here, and the other one is in New York. So the Sistema Italia here is particularly big, and it's particularly rich because of the presence of exactly the Tourism Board, the Italian Cultural Institute, the Italian Trade Agency. We have an active Italian Chamber of Commerce. So there is a growing interest and attention from the headquarters to what is happening in Los Angeles in the audiovisual sector, of course, but not only in this sector, because we finally they got the idea that this is a place where things happen, and so we are here to help in this.
Fantastic. Thank you all so very much for joining us for this panel.